My name is Bola Aduwo. I'm a writer, I'm a blogger, I'm also a PR person. I got into Nollywood first as a writer. I still write occasionally, but not as much. Then I, moved off into the media where I was on radio. I used to produce programs for radio. But when I saw the way Nollywood was going, and I still had a lot of friends in the industry, I had a lot of friends then, I now decided to relocate from Abuja, where I was, to Lagos, where I had left anyway, first, so I came in as a writer. Then I blog. I used to love going online and seeing a lot of misconceptions before. Back in the day, I'm talking about 2005, 2004, 2005. A lot of stuff you go online to read about Nollywood was always negative. Always usually focusing on the girls, the women, talking about one scandal or the other, never talking about the men who are equally as, I don't want to say as scandalous, but who are also not saints, but they always focus on the women, nothing on the men. I'm not a women's liberal or anything like that, but I just felt, because I was in the industry and I had friends in the industry, I always knew the true story. So I would always go online, sometimes end up quarreling, fight, those famous online fights and all that, until I decided, what, I'm going to set up a blog and, promote Nollywood in a positive light. And I'm glad that after I started doing that, a lot of other sites started springing up, doing, more or less the same things. One of the things, kudos I must give to Bella Naija, because I actually had my blog, which I called What's Happening, and Bella actually used to take some information from there then, until she told me to, run, if I could contribute stories to when she was getting bigger. Because she too started as a blog, so she asked me if I was interested in contributing, stories about TV and about Nollywood to her site, which I did. I think that, first of all, we're not perfect. A lot of people in the industry, in front of the camera, never in their wildest dreams, envisioned they will get to the heights that they got to. They were just the typical, not just girls, boys and girls, producers, writers, directors. Nobody really thought this thing was like, as we say in local parlance, like play. So everybody just generally just living their life. And I feel some journalists, a journalist, they are my colleagues now. One of them actually accosted one of them and said, "Why do you like writing negative stuff about this particular person?" And the person laughed and said, that the women are the currency of this industry. Now, if you don't report on the women, what is there? That I should leave it. What am I talking about? That is, the women make the industry fun. They make it interesting. So I don't think it's just a case of the girls getting involved in scandal and all that kind of thing.
So what you're saying is it's impossible to stay scandal free?
As long as we're inside this flesh, you will do some things that you shouldn't do. And you shouldn't do them, but you do them. So we're not perfect, we're not saints. So it depends on what you consider. Now there's no room for mistakes. In those days, you could make mistakes and nobody will ever hear of it. But now, because of social media, it's broadcasted around the world. It goes all over the world now. So I just think people should be more careful. But kids will be kids, youths will be youths, boys will be boys, girls will be girls. So I don't judge too. I think, first of all, we have a lot of competition coming from the foreign movies. If I'm the the owner of a cinema house, I've invested millions. I know that this Nollywood movie is a sure banker. I don't call any name. It's already selling in America automatically. I know it must sell in Nigeria. And it's going to pack our halls. Then somebody comes along with this little movie, locally made movie, I will tell you, actually, they give you 2 weeks. If after 2 weeks, the sales are not interesting, they will yank it off. It's actually, I think they should ask the cinema owners. They actually give you 2 weeks. If it's not, if the numbers are not what, because everybody's you're a businessman, you're running diesel from morning till night. It has to make money. This is not a charity business. So if it's not making money, he's going to remove it. Yeah. This attitude of the world, I always say, some people say a lot of things. I go online a lot and I'm on Twitter, and people say all sorts of utopian things about the way the industry should be. And I just smile to myself and I say that Nollywood is just a microcosm of the larger picture in Nigeria. If finance, if so many aspects of the Nigerian economy as we know it is not perfect, why in the world would you think this little industry that wasn't even planned, that just is like burst fruit, it just exploded, how in the world did you think it would be perfect? So piracy is as a result of that wild west mentality that a lot of us have in Nigeria, that nobody owns it, it's just a movie I saw and I'm going to dub and sell and nobody can accost me. I hear music, I put it on my movie, I hear this, I just put it on. I see a picture, I just put it on my site. I don't ask nobody for no questions.
Do you think if the government actually puts like a punishment to these things, like illegal downloads and piracy and whatnot, do you think people will stop?
There are actually laws, though I hear there are actually laws against piracy, but who is ready to enforce it? Somebody once saw a film of his being pirated in traffic, and he opened the window and was, accosting the vendor, and the guy was abusing him, even wanted to attack him. He said, "Hey, go and sit down, what? If you even go to Alaba, you are threatened." So I think but nothing is impossible. I think if they just make one person, one film, an example, I tell you the rest will comply. The rest will comply. So, but who's ready to bail the cat? That's the $1 million question. I was about to say that people love to stereotype, and we're working in a very peculiar industry, a peculiar country. Everybody loves this bandwagon effect. Nobody wants to try anything new. If Wizkid, let me give an example. Wizkid does a song and it has this style to it, trust me, all the other songs coming are going to sound very similar because it works with Wizkid, so it has to work for me, So I think that's actually what also happens when they feel that, this actor did very well. Let me give an example. Maybe J-Mike back in the day. He did very well acting this bad boy, Americana, returnee kind of thing. I'm going to put him in this film because it sells, it works. I'm not going to go out to reinvent the wheel. It's working, so why am I going to try something different? But like you say, we need to be more adventurous. We both as script writers and also as producers and all that, we need to develop the character so that it's not just the same old that we get all the time. But I think we are improving. You must give it to us that we are improving. Should I give you diplomatic answer or the real answer?
Yeah.
I will say one thing. If I have been given money to shoot a movie, one of the first people I think I'm going to call are my friends that have been hustling with me. It is natural. Even you as a person, if you're given money to do something, you're given money to cater, to do a show or something, the first people on your party list are going to be your friends. So it's natural. First of all, your friends have been there with you. 1, 2, your friends are not going to, they're not going to put up some diva attitude, towards you. They're not going to charge as much as a total stranger. And of course, since you're my friend, I already know how you're going to behave. I already know you. So it's safer. You know, we love to walk the safe line, which I really don't blame them for, because I mean, you're riding on somebody's money. A lot is riding on somebody's money. So, you know, it's safer to choose work with people. So if they call them cliques, well, I don't know. I'll say they're more of factions rather than cliques.
I mean, you're a producer yourself, and you're a writer. You've been in this
Point of correction, I'm more of a writer and a PR person. The movie that, you know, brought me here is like my first associate producing, job. But yeah. First of all, if you have 3 meetings, let's say you fix 3 meetings for yourself in Lagos today and you manage to attend one, please clap for yourself. Much more to wake up and produce a whole film from the beginning to the end. When I see people spew a lot of hate, I mean, I'm sorry to digress. When I say a lot of people saying stuff about people, I can always tell that that person is obviously somebody that hasn't accomplished much in life. It's not a yab, it is a fact. Because if you can achieve or create anything in this, you know, economy, environment and all that, and succeed, please, I think that person needs to be commended, you know. So producing that film, of course there were challenges both from the script. Actually, this script was written about 6-7 years ago when I was working on radio back in the day. We took a news story about a girl that had been raped, and that story just refused to leave me. I always wondered whatever happened to that girl, because it was, the way it was reported was quite, I always wondered. So from there, I now wondered, what if, and the story came to life. But at that time, I'll just say that story was not ready then to be published. I mean, to be produced, you know. So I just kept it with me, you know, until the right time came. And I always said something: I don't want to sell this movie. If I'm going to sell it, I must be part of the production. And I think that opportunity came about 6 years later when I produced it with with a friend of mine, MM Song, and that's what we have today. So from the rewrites, I will say that an NGO heard the story, saw the story, fell in love with it, and wanted to place their health message on it as well. So I had to do a lot of rewrites, about 6, which is something I have never done. I mean, I haven't done before. So from the rewrites, then the actual shooting, there were some scenes they said we didn't get right. We had to go back after wrapping up, principal photography. We had to go back to reshoot certain scenes to get it right. So, but it all came together when we watched it. When we, watched it at the premiere, all the actors understood. We even understood. Everybody was. I believe everybody was happy. So. Oh, I feel like turning to Patience Ozoko right here and saying, hey. I don't know what you guys are waiting for. You've got to see that movie. That's all I can say. We have a lot of course, we have some stars in the movie. Desmond. Okay, the name of the movie is Code of Silence. And we have Desmond Elliott in it, Iniedu, Omoni Oboli, Patience Ozoko. And of course, we have some fast rising upcoming actors too. We have Sean Fakwa, we have Makida Moka. That was her very first. This is her very first motion. Video. Motion picture movie, and she did. It was everybody put in their best in that movie. So I really think you need to see it before they take it off from cinemas. I think music is almost also like another character. You can imagine a horror film without music. You won't be scared. So it's like another entity on its own. So music is so important, both the the mood, there's so much into music, I don't have to start going into detail with it. The mood music, and all the other soundtracks and all that. So it's really important, and we did that music. We did it 3 times. We did it with one person, he didn't get it right, went back to another person, went back to the same person before we got it right. So we really tried to put our best in this movie, so. Usually the producer, really, because actually the producer hires the director. So sometimes the producer is also the director. Like maybe like a Kunle now, Afolayan, he's also the director. But in most cases, the producer is the one that actually decides this is the, director. The producer is kind of like somebody that goes to the market. He decides the kind of soup he's going to prepare, and he goes to the market to select the best ingredients possible. He's read this script, and if he's a good producer, he already knows the best kind of person to act this role. So he goes about going to, some already go to those that are already established, some go to, take a chance on a brand new, actor or actress. So the producer is also the one, after the film has been shot, he's also the one that selects the editor, the music, everything rides on his head. If it's a failure, it's going to be the producer's headache. The actor has collected his money, is gone. But at the end of the day, you've put all these pieces together. We just pray that it works. So it's like you've cooked the food in the kitchen. Now you just want to serve it to, the watching public. Oh, I always say something. I always say something. I was watching, sorry, I like to digress, so before I land where I'm going, I hope you don't mind. I was watching this Straight Out of Compton. I was looking at the box sales, 56 million, blah, blah, blah. And when I saw the number of cinemas that film was released on in America, I said, we have a long way to go. 3,000 over 3,000 cinemas that movie was released. And why won't they bring in that kind of money? Please ask me how many we have in Nigeria. I don't think we have more than 11. So those numbers, it's, I wish a lot of people need to realize what the average Nigerian producer is up against. There are some cinemas that won't even show your movie for whatever reason, I don't know. Because, well, you also can't blame them. They feel, oh, I'm already selling out halls with this foreign film. Why should they make me make way for this local film, which I don't even know is going to sell? So the Nigerian producer is up against so much. Not to talk about the taxes, the entertainment, Lagos State, even when the figures come in, you're not even going to take all that home. There are a lot of taxes, deductions that are still going to be made. So if you are even able to take so much home, please, as I said, clap for yourself. You're up. The Nigerian businessman is up against so much, but we still make it work because we're Nigerians. Because we're Nigerians, it has got to work. So. Oh gosh, I wish I could say it was. My heart was in my mouth. Well, I have been around, sets, but not maybe as the friend that just comes to see what's happening, as the writer. I've even done props, in one or two friends' sets, but not as the, like if the producer is not there, the next person they call is the associate producer, So it was interesting. Let me just say it was interesting. You meet different people every day. There's some people that look real normal in the office, but when they get on set, it's like all the people in their village have decided to come together to start making wires touch. both actors and crew. So you just hope for the best. But it was fun. At the end of the day, we all had a good time. It was great. We all got to meet Mama G. I think half the time when we were not shooting, people were taking pictures with Mama G. Please, just one more picture. Everybody took pictures with Mama G. It was such a delight to have her on set, and she was no stress at all. No stress at all. Everything you think she's going to be, no, not the troublesome side, But everything you think Mama G is going to be in real life, that's what she was. So I think that was one person that was really, I met her, well, at one or two events, but that was one person that I was really tripped to meet, you know, on set. Mama G, that's Patience was awkward. So hi, I'm Bola Aduwo. I'm a blogger, I'm also a writer and a PR person. My 5 top, you know, Nollywood movies. I'm gonna start from the least to the most, you know, to the favorites. Emotional Crack. That's an old movie shot by Ememison way back in I think 2004 that starred Stephanie and Dakore. Love and Ramsey and Mama G. Love that movie. My 4th is okay, it's not going to be in any order of this thing as it comes to me. The Figurine, I loved that movie by Kunle Afolayan. It reminded me of an Indiana Jones, African version of an Indiana Jones. You know, in the jungle, you never knew what was going to happen. So I loved that movie. The next movie I loved was Knocking on Heaven's Door. I loved that movie because of one person in that film. No, it's not Majid. Blossom. Blossom is my movie crush. He knows, but it's just for the movies, strictly for the movies. I love that film because Blossom was in it and he killed that role. It was fantastic, you know. The next movie that I love, I wish you had given me time to think about it. I loved Lagos Cougars as well. It was one of the films I wrote with Ememison, and it was just a crazy, unserious, not to be taken serious movie about 3 women that just wanted to have fun, and that was a fun movie. What next? Desperate House Girls, because that movie was done by Uduak Ogwamanam, and I love that movie because of its simplicity, because it's every man's fantasy, not just what you would imagine house girls would be up to in any form or this. That was what happened in that movie. It was great. So I hope you loved, you know, my top 5 movies. Hi, I'm Bola Aduwo. I'm a blogger, I'm a writer, I'm also a PR person. You're on to Pulse TV. Don't go nowhere. It's the place to go.